Hello, dear students. As we move forward in this chapter of evolution, I hope आपको समझ में आ रहा है. We are moving forward, okay? So her lecture will be a continuation of the previous one. Previous lectures are very important if you are seeing this lecture today. So today I will be continuing with the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium जो हमने कल डिटेल में देखा है. Hardy and Weinberg, they stated that frequency of alleles, that is the allelic frequency, हमने डिटेल में डिस्कस किया है कल about allelic frequency and the genotypic frequency. Now you know what is the difference between allelic frequency, between genotypic frequency and between phenotypic frequency. बहुत सारे MCQs आते हैं इसके ऊपर. All right, and you know how to calculate the frequency of allele. If the frequency of one is given, how you calculate the frequency of the other allele, and this always remains constant in a large population which is of diploid individuals, which is sexually reproducing, okay, and randomly mating. It remains constant from generation to generation. When I say this, I mean कि इसमें कुछ भी change नहीं होगा. Neither the genotype will change. If the genotype is not changing, the phenotype will not change. That means evolution नहीं हो रहा है. There is no evolution. There is no evolution in the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. So when a population is in equilibrium, we call it the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. We can say that the population is not evolving because this has to remain constant. If this is constant, it satisfies the Hardy-Weinberg law, the law which says p square plus 2pq plus q square is equal to 1. ये लॉ satisfy होगा जब equilibrium में रहेगा. That means no evolution is going to happen. But population genetics में हमको पता चलता है कि हर population evolve हो रहा है. Every population is evolving, be it the humans, be it the plants, be it the wolves, be it the bears, be it the rabbits, be it the microorganisms. Everything is evolving. How is it evolving? Now, if it has to follow the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium, ये frequency of alleles और genotypic frequency change नहीं होनी चाहिए, तभी evolution नहीं होगा. So, इसका opposite statement, try to get me. Okay? Listen to it very carefully. अगर अब मैं इसका opposite बोलूं, means allelic frequency जब change होगी, genotypic frequency जब change होगी, तब evolution होगा. So change in frequency of alleles or the genetic makeup of the individuals. अगर genetic makeup change होगा, तो phenotypic appearance change होगा, which will correspond to change in the phenotype, that is the physical appearance of the individual over generations is going to lead to evolution. Means every population is evolving and it is evolving because ये changes हो रहे हैं. This is called population genetics. Population genetics. We all know कि genetically changes हो रहे हैं. Okay, which is giving us different phenotypic appearance from generation to generation. So this genetic makeup is changing. When the genotype is changing, definitely the allelic frequency is changing, the alleles are changing. And corresponding to it, the phenotype is changing. And if all these are changing from generation to generation, definitely evolution हो रहा है. So this is contrasting to the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. Now we had discussed that there are some things which disturb the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. Hardy-Weinberg had said कि अगर ये चीजें रही तो population equilibrium में नहीं रहेगा. We had discussed those things: mutations, recombinations, gene migration, okay, genetic drift, non-random mating, and natural selection. These are the things, if they are present, Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium follow नहीं होगा. That means these are the things which will bring about this change in the frequency of alleles and change in the genotypic frequency. All right. So let me write down those points for you. So factors which will affect the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. अगर Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium affect हो गया तो evolution हो रहा है. Okay, important MCQs. if the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium is affected, means evolution is happening. All right. So these are the factors which affect the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. Hardy and Weinberg, they had said that if these factors are not present, only then the equilibrium holds true, the law holds true. That means these factors, that is genetic migration, gene migration, genetic drift, mutations, recombination, non-random mating and natural selection. अगर ये सब है तो Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium is not going to hold true and evolution is going to happen. So can I call them? Can I call all these as mechanisms of evolution? I can call them the mechanism by which evolution is happening. Important board exam question also, mechanisms of evolution along with Hardy-Weinberg law. आपको आपके notes बनाने हैं so that board exam में you just have to overlap your notes and you are ready to write your short answers and your long answers. So all these things which are going to bring about a change in allelic frequency, a change in genotypic frequency, जिसकी वजह से phenotypic appearance change होगा. All right, all these are the things which are going to bring about change in allelic frequency, change in genotypic frequency, and the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium is not going to be in equilibrium. Evolution होने वाला है, इसीलिए I can call them that these are the mechanisms of evolution. We will discuss these mechanisms of evolution in detail now in the lecture. जीन माइग्रेशन. माइग्रेशन का मतलब होता है एक जगह को छोड़ के दूसरी जगह पे जाना. वी हैव सीन माइग्रेशन ओके इन पॉपुलेशन. सो माइग्रेशन अगर जीन के कंसेप्ट में बोलेंगे मींस जीन्स आर माइग्रेटिंग फ्रॉम वन प्लेस टू द अदर. सो जब इंडिविजुअल माइग्रेट होगा एक जगह से दूसरी जगह पे तब उसके जीन्स भी माइग्रेट होंगे. या इन द केस ऑफ प्लांट्स व्हेन पोलन ग्रेन्स दे गो फ्रॉम वन प्लेस टू द अदर दे आर माइग्रेटेड. Okay, so either the gametes are migrated or the individual itself is migrating. All right, so gene migration, when migration of a section of population occurs, एक section है, एक society है यहाँ पे, okay, इसमें से अगर कुछ individuals they migrate and go to a different area, they go to a new area, वो individual का जो genetic makeup था, genetic constitution था, that is going to shift to a new area. And it will be emptying this place from here. So gene frequency change होगी. Gene frequency change होगी original population में भी and new population in which they are going. Okay? See, look here. We have seen what a gene pool is. Gene pool is going to be the various genes which are present in a population. The different alleles, the different genotypic constitutions, बहुत सारे traits के which are present in a population will be that gene pool of that population. Now, when individuals are going to leave from here, when individuals are going to migrate from here, okay, when some individuals will migrate, they will come to a new place. So, ये individuals अपने साथ जो genetic constitution carry करेंगे, अपने साथ जो alleles carry करेंगे, वो यहाँ आ जाएंगे इस population में. Okay, they are going to come in this new population. So this is the original population ka gene pool and this is the new population ka gene pool. Now why I said that frequency of alleles, gene frequency or the allelic frequency is going to change in the original population as well as the new population, isko समझो. ये ओरिजिनल पॉपुलेशन से एग्जिट हुआ, ओके, एग्जिट हुआ, एमिग्रेशन हुआ, एमिग्रेशन. सो यहाँ पे भी अफेक्ट होगा इंडिविजुअल्स विच हैव लेफ्ट फ्रॉम हियर, तो जीन पूल को अफेक्ट हुआ. वेराज ये न्यू पॉपुलेशन में, ये न्यू एरिया में एंट्री हुई है, इट इज इनकमिंग, हम ऐसे याद रखते हैं, इन आए हैं, इमिग्रेशन. तो यहाँ का जो ओरिजिनल जेनेटिक पूल था वो चेंज होगा बिकॉज ऑफ दिस एमिग्रेशन. सो माइग्रेशन ऑन एन होल, वेदर इट इज एग्जिस्टिंग अ पॉपुलेशन और इट इज एंटरिंग अ पॉपुलेशन, इट इज गोइंग टू चेंज द जीन फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन. एंड अगर ये मल्टीपल टाइम्स होगा दैट मीन्स बहुत सारा जीन फ्लो होगा मल्टीपल टाइम्स. ओके, बहुत सारे इंडिविजुअल्स, बहुत सारे ह्यूमन बीइंग्स फॉर एग्जाम्पल, दे माइग्रेट फ्रॉम द डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज एंड गो टू द डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज, लाइक human beings from India, from Pakistan, from Bangladesh, they all go to US for better jobs. Okay, so US में incoming होता है ये सारे genetic constitutions का. It will be a land of multiple ethnicity because people from various places are coming. So वहाँ पे genetic pool में individuals का different genetic constitution होगा. When they start mating over here, they can form a new species, they can form new traits, if not species. Okay, so you have to understand कि एक population के genetic pool में से जब migration होगा, well, as we say it for a population, we can say it for the genes also, because when an organism is leaving the population, उसके साथ उसके genes भी जा रहे हैं. So जीन की फ्रीक्वेंसी चेंज होगी ओरिजिनल पॉपुलेशन में और न्यू पॉपुलेशन में. अगर ये मल्टीपल टाइम्स हुआ तो हम बोलते हैं बहुत सारा जीन फ्लो हो रहा है. अगर ये जीन फ्लो बहुत ज्यादा हुआ तो पॉपुलेशन इवॉल्व होगा. Hardy-Weinberg law is not going to be in equilibrium. It is not going to be satisfied. So this is a factor which is going to affect the Hardy-Weinberg law, that is gene migration. Okay. You're going to follow the flow chart over here. Gene migration or gene flow involves movement of genes into or out of a population, into the new population, out from the original population. It is the movement of genes into or out of a population due to movement of either the individual organism or gametes of a particular organism. Means individual खुद जाए या उसके gametes जाए, but gene flow हो रहा है. Okay, will bring about new alleles to different populations. यहाँ पे जो allelic frequencies नहीं होगी वो alleles इधर आ जाएंगे, यहाँ की allelic frequency change होगी. Because individuals have left the original population, the allelic frequency from here will change as well. Alright, we know what is allelic frequency now. So जब ये होगा, it is going to change the allele frequency. It is going to change the allele frequency. So change in the allele frequency will definitely lead to evolution. Change in the allelic frequency, change in the genotypic frequency will definitely lead to evolution. Alright, now students, when I'm speaking of allelic frequency and genotypic frequency in the Hardy-Weinberg law as well as over here, we have taken examples of only one trait कि tall और dwarf individual हो सकता है, brown eyes, blue eyes हो सकता है. When I'm speaking of a gene pool, I'm speaking of all the allelic traits, all the genetic different genetic combinations in a genome, all the genes in a genome. All right. So Hardy-Weinberg law भी वो एक trait के लिए भी applicable रहता है और वो सारे traits के लिए in an individual भी applicable रहता है. So similarly over here, when we are speaking of the change in allelic frequency, it is for all the traits or some of the traits. Okay, ऐसा नहीं है कि एक ही trait के लिए बात कर रहे हैं हम. It is for multiple traits. Example के लिए हम सिर्फ एक trait को discuss करते हैं. Alright, so this is what is genetic migration or gene flow. Now we'll see the second one. Okay, so now to the second phenomenon. Okay, that is genetic drift. Genetic drift is any alteration in allele frequency in a population. Means population की allele frequency change होगी, but by chance, suddenly change होगी. Okay, by chance. It is also called civil right effect because it was discovered by civil right. So genetic drift is also called civil right drift or civil right effect. Important MCQ. By chance means accidentally. Again a story now. एक land पे, एक forest में, एक particular land पे, एक particular area में, supposingly there are brown and white rabbits. Brown और white rabbits साथ में हैं. Accidentally forest को fire लग जाती है. फॉरेस्ट को फायर लग जाती है वो एरिया में एंड बहुत सारे व्हाइट रैबिट्स चले जाते हैं. दे डाई इन दैट फायर एंड वी रिमेन विथ ओनली द ब्राउन रैबिट्स. सो आगे की जनरेशन जो आएगी वो ब्राउन रैबिट्स की रहेगी. ओके, इसमें अल्टरनेटिवली दूसरा भी हो सकता है. अगर फायर कैच करने के बाद ब्राउन रैबिट्स की डेथ हो जाए, मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द ब्राउन रैबिट्स हैव डाइड फ्रॉम द पॉपुलेशन, वी विल बी रिमेनिंग विद द व्हाइट वंस. सो ब्राउन व्हाइट बीइंग द रेसेसिव वन, नाउ व्हाइट वाले ज्यादा रिप्रोड्यूस करेंगे, सो आगे की जनरेशन व्हाइट रैबिट्स की मिलेगी. ओके, सो बाय चांस, दैट इज एक्सीडेंटली, दिस चांस कैन बी accidental death because of any earthquakes, fire, cyclones, or any other natural calamity, floods, hunting, बहुत ज्यादा हंटिंग हुई अगर किसी ऑर्गेनिज्म की, ओके, इट विल डिपेंड ऑन विच ऑर्गेनिज्म की हम बात कर रहे हैं जेनेटिक ड्रिफ्ट में. ऑलराइट, सो व्हेन ऑल दीज थिंग्स एक्सीडेंटली एक पर्टिकुलर पॉपुलेशन का डेथ हो जाना, रिमूव हो जाना उस जीन पूल में से, तो जो रिमेनिंग रहेंगे वही आगे रिप्रोड्यूस कर सकेंगे. लेट अस सी दिस एग्जांपल ओवर हियर. दिस इज अ पॉपुलेशन ऑफ 10 रैबिट्स. Okay, this is the first generation, this is the second generation, and this is the third generation. Now let us see. Okay, first generation में brown rabbits इतने थे. There were 8 brown rabbits and 2 white rabbits. Can you see these? 2 white rabbits and 8 brown rabbits. Now 8 brown rabbits ये तो phenotypically है, all right? But अगर इनका genotype देखें तो homozygous dominant थे, capital B. There were homozygous dominant. There were heterozygous dominant, that is capital B small b, and there were the recessive traits, that is small b. So if I take out the allelic frequency now, P is equal to 0.5. P is what? Frequency of the dominant allele, Hardy-Weinberg mein. Okay, I hope you remember. P is frequency of the dominant allele in the Hardy-Weinberg. यहाँ पे capital B आप count करो. All right, so P की frequency 0.5 है, whereas स्मॉल रेसेसिव अलील की, दैट इज Q, उसकी फ्रीक्वेंसी भी 0.5 है. समिंग इट अप टू 1 नाउ. 0.5 प्लस 0.5 is 1. Now supposingly, because of any chance accident, because of fire in this forest, ये rabbits में से only these 5 can reproduce. Only these 5 can reproduce. So 5 rabbits can reproduce now. And all the other rabbits have died in the fire accidentally. Okay, it is sudden, it is accidental, it is a by chance occurrence. ये सब चले गए. So अब इसमें ये 2 रेसेसिव वाले भी चले गए हैं. So chances of capital B की frequency, dominant allele की frequency increase हो जाएगी second generation में. See, second generation में you will have 9 brown rabbits and only 1 white rabbit जो different combinations से बना है. Okay, this is small b over here. Whereas the others will be homozygous dominant and heterozygous dominant, but उनका phenotypic appearance brown रहेगा. So now P की frequency, that is the dominant allele की frequency 0.7 है and recessive allele की frequency हो गई 0.3. Again add it up, it gives you 1. Now supposingly इस second generation में फिर से genetic drift हुआ. By chance only now these 2 rabbits are alive to reproduce. Only these 2 rabbits are alive to reproduce. Rest have died. Supposingly hunting हुआ. Aggressive hunting में ये सारे rabbits die कर गए and we are remaining with only these 2 rabbits. So only these 2 rabbits will be reproducing to produce the further generation. So ये जो homozygous rabbits हैं, capital B इनका genotype है, ये 2 ही बचे हैं. अब जो हमको generation मिलेगी, it will be having the dominant, it will be homozygous dominant. So capital B, that is P, frequency of the dominant allele ये 1 हो जाएगा and frequency of the recessive allele ये 0 हो जाएगा. Means the recessive allele is lost because of genetic drift. This generation will be completely of these brown rabbits. So this is what is called genetic drift. Any alteration in allele frequency in a population by chance, because of any accidental, because of any natural disasters. It is also called civil right effect because it was discovered by civil right. Due to this, some alleles of a population are lost or reduced. एक allele lost हो जाएगा, like how the recessive one is lost. Previously it was reduced, gradually it was lost. So due to this, some alleles of a population are lost and reduced by chance. अब जब ये reduce हुआ, जब Q reduce होता गया, तो P की frequency बढ़ गई. When one allele is reducing, the other one is increasing. So other allele increases. This is called genetic drift. So ये genetic drift, ये अगर छोटे population size में है, this was a size of only 10 rabbits. Population size was only of 10 rabbits. So ये इतना जल्दी effect दिखेगा in the generations. If I take a population of 1000 rabbits, 1000 rabbits के population में इतना जल्दी effect नहीं दिखेगा. You will not see the effect very shortly if the population size is big enough. Alright, if the population size is big enough, this effect will not be seen in a short duration. इसको कैसे compare करते हैं बताऊं? I'll tell you again a short incident. जब हम coin toss करते हैं, head और tail करते हैं, do it 10 times. Do it 10 times. Frequency जिसमें head और tail आएगा, वो बहुत vary करेगी. Alright? If you do it 1000 times, so आप almost 50-50 ratio के आसपास रहोगे. Means 500 times head, around 500 times head and around 500 times tail, you will be nearing that 50-50 ratio. But जब आप कम बार करोगे, it is not essential you will near that 50-50 ratio. Are you getting me? Large populations को affect कम होगा genetic drifting का, whereas short populations, smaller size populations will be affected more by genetic drifting. Okay? So, और ये random है. You have seen it is random. Randomly only these 5 could reproduce, the others could not. It is random. It is directionless. It is not taking into account कि कौन से allele ज़्यादा beneficial है environment को. Randomly ये सब accidentally चले गए by chance, तो जो remaining थे उन्होंने reproduce किया. So this is not taking into account whether the allele which is remaining is beneficial or not for the environment. And it is random. It is directionless. Alright? It will affect small populations more and larger populations less. So I'll put these down in points for you so that you have them ready for your board exam. So just follow this flow chart to write the genetic drift, this experiment, this example to understand the genetic drift, and I'll write down the points now. All these MCQs with the genetic drift effect, you have understood them, just write it down point wise. It's a chance occurrence. इसमें randomly select होंगे organisms, जैसे randomly ये 5 बच गए, बाकी चले गए accident में. So random selection है, directionless है. It is not essential कि हमको इससे superior individuals ही मिलेंगे. You can get the inferior individuals also. So it is not going to take into account whether the allele which is remained is beneficial for the individual or is harmful for the individual. This genetic drifting is not going to take into account whether the allele that has remained, which is reproducing, which is producing the future generations, whether it is beneficial or it is harmful to the individual. इसको ये account में नहीं लेगा. Randomly जो बच गए accident में से वो reproduce करेंगे और further generations बनाएंगे. It occurs in all population sizes. बड़ी population में भी होता है, छोटी population में भी होता है, but the impact is seen in small populations. Impact is seen fast and impact is more seen in small populations than in large populations. Alright, जैसे हमने देखा 10 rabbits और 1000 rabbits में. So these are all the points with genetic drift जिसमें allele frequency change होती है. So Hardy-Weinberg law is not going to hold true. The allelic frequency is going to change if the genes are going to drift. Alright? One of the extreme example of genetic drift is the bottleneck effect. Bottleneck effect, very important MCQ. It is an extreme example of genetic drift. Means bottleneck effect में हम genetic drifting देखते हैं. Important MCQ. Now क्या होता है bottleneck effect में? When a large population, when a population is sharply reduced in size, means population की size sharply decline हो जाती है by chance because of any natural disaster. Alright? So see here, if this is a population of 1000 rabbits, ये 1000 rabbits का population है. ऑलराइट, एक साइक्लोन आया, एक नेचुरल डिजास्टर हुआ और ये पॉपुलेशन रिड्यूस हो गया 50 रैबिट्स पे. इट हैज रिड्यूस्ड टू 50 रैबिट्स नाउ. So sharp decline in the population size from 1000 to 50. अब यहाँ पे जो अलीलिक फ्रीक्वेंसी थी, यहाँ पे जो अलील्स की फ्रीक्वेंसी थी, वो यहाँ की अलील फ्रीक्वेंसी से डिफर करेगी. तो जैसे पॉपुलेशन का साइज रिड्यूस हो गया, allelic frequency over here will be changed and over here will be different allelic frequency. अब इसमें ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि बहुत सारे अलील दे हैव लॉस्ट. लाइक जैसे ये 10 पॉपुलेशन है, 10 रैबिट्स का, इसका अगर शार्प डिक्लाइन हो एंड इफ वी आर टू रिमेन विथ ओनली वन रैबिट ओवर हियर एंड से दिस रैबिट इज दिस रेसेसिव वन, small b, and these genetic combinations are lost. Okay, the capital B, that is the homozygous and the heterozygous dominant, these combinations are lost. ये population natural disaster में चला गया, जो population बचा वो सिर्फ recessive वालों का था. So जो future generations हैं वो सिर्फ इसी combination से बनेगी. We will be getting the future generations from here, वो सिर्फ इसी combination से बनेगी. So these alleles are lost, genotypic alleles, genotypic frequencies are lost. Okay, these genotypic combinations are lost. We will have only the white rabbits over here. These white rabbits will be reproducing further to form the future generation, which will be of white rabbits, because these alleles are lost by chance. They are lost due to natural disasters. It can be any, we have discussed by chance occurrences, and it reduces the population size sharply or drastically. Okay, 1000 rabbits से 50 rabbits पे आ गए, तो ये 50 rabbits का जो allelic frequency रहेगा वैसे ही आगे population बढ़ेगा. एग्जाम्पल से ऐसे समझो कि ये 10 में से अगर 9 rabbits die and only one is remaining, and if the one which is remaining is a white one, that is this recessive one, all right, homozygous recessive one, so future generations जो रहेगी वो यहीं से develop होगी. So we will be getting the white rabbits. All right, so this is called the bottleneck effect. एक बॉटल के बेस पे अगर बहुत सारे अलीलिक कॉम्बिनेशंस हैं, बहुत सारे जीनोटिपिक कॉम्बिनेशंस हैं, एक्चुअली एक बॉटल में बहुत सारे डिफरेंट कलर्स ऑफ बीड्स डाल के रखते हैं to show it diagrammatically. Okay, and when this population size is reducing now, so ये बहुत सारे colors are lost and only some colors will be remaining. So 1000 में से सिर्फ 50 remaining रहेंगे यहाँ पे. ये मैंने सिर्फ एक trait के लिए दिखाया है. All right, I have shown this only for one trait, that is the color. It will have different traits, so different genotypic combinations रहेंगे यहाँ पे. So they will be lost. The ones which will be remaining only will be carrying it further. This is called the bottleneck effect. It is an extreme example of the genetic drift. MCQs में आता है bottleneck effect, किसका example है? genetic drift का example है. And इसमें mainly sharp decline होता है population size में. बड़ा population बहुत ज्यादा natural disaster की वजह से supposingly एक cyclone आया, these 1000 rabbits, out of them 950 die and only 50 are remaining. So these 50 का जो allelic frequency रहेगी, अब because population चला गया, so allelic frequency is going to differ. ये जो different allelic frequency रहेगी, now it is going to reproduce further and make up bring up a new generation. But again, ये जो small population है, इस पे again it is going to count. The genetic drift is going to occur over here. जब तक ये population normal हो, stabilize हो, उसका number बढ़े, it is going to have a fear from genetic drift. That is again any chance occurrence जिससे उसके individuals lost हो जाएंगे. We have seen कि genetic drift का effect, का impact small population पे ज़्यादा रहता है. So again, this small population will be impacted by any chance occurrence, that is genetic drift will happen. Again, we may lose some alleles, फिर जो बचेंगे वो generation को आगे बढ़ाएंगे. So again, it's a chance occurrence. Again, it is random, it is directionless. हम control नहीं कर सकते हैं कि जो beneficial अलील्स हैं, जो बेनिफिशियल कैरेक्टर्स हैं वो रहे यहाँ पे, और जो हार्मफुल हैं या जो बेनिफिशियल नहीं है वो चले जाएं, बिकॉज इन दैट नेचुरल डिजास्टर, इन दैट चांस अकरेंस, any of the organisms will die and the others will remain. All right, so bottleneck effect. Next extreme example of the genetic drift is the founder effect. It's an extreme example again of the genetic drift, that is the founder effect. अब होता क्या है, again a story. अगर एक forest में there is fire, okay, there is fire, or because of some natural calamity जैसे कि cyclone आया, कुछ पॉपुलेशन, अ स्मॉल पोर्शन ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन वहां से भागा या सेपरेट हो गया, इट हैज गॉन टू अ डिफरेंट लैंड नाउ. ऑलराइट, ये जो पॉपुलेशन एक लैंड छोड़ के दूसरे लैंड पे गया, इट कैन नॉट गो बैक नाउ बिकॉज वहां के सारे इंडिविजुअल्स हैव डाइड, लाइफ ओवर देयर हैज एंडेड ऑन दैट लैंड. इट विल बी द फाउंडर मेंबर ऑफ द न्यू लैंड नाउ. जो वहां के इंडिविजुअल्स वो नेचुरल कैलामिटी से बच के इधर आए हैं, सेपरेट हो गए हैं वो लार्ज पॉपुलेशन से, दे हैव रन अवे ड्यूरिंग दैट नेचुरल कैलामिटी, वो सेपरेट हो गए अपने लार्ज पॉपुलेशन से. ये जो स्मॉल पॉपुलेशन है जो भाग के इधर आया है, इट इज गोइंग टू कॉलोनाइज अ न्यू लैंड. ये वहां के फाउंडर मेंबर्स रहेंगे. ओके, तो अब देखो इस एग्जाम्पल में फिर से ये पॉपुलेशन है, नेचुरल कैलामिटी आई, एंड अगर सिर्फ ये वाले व्हाइट रैबिट्स जो हैं ये भाग के इधर आ गए एक न्यू लैंड पे. ऑलराइट, ये ओरिजिनल लैंड से भाग के वो रैबिट्स आ गए न्यू लैंड पे, यहाँ पे कॉलोनाइज करने के लिए. नाउ दीज आर द रेसेसिव वंस, दीज आर द व्हाइट वंस. तो यहाँ पे जो कॉलोनी बनेगी अब विल बी फ्रॉम दीज कॉम्बिनेशंस ओनली. दैट मीन्स जो हमारी न्यू कॉलोनी है, जो न्यू कॉलोनी बनी है, इट विल नॉट हैव ऑल द जेनेटिक डाइवर्सिटी. फिर से सुनो. ओके, एक लैंड है जहां पे 10 रैबिट्स थे, सम वर ब्राउन, सम वर व्हाइट, इनके डिफरेंट जीनोटिपिक कॉम्बिनेशंस थे, होमोजाइगस डोमिनेंट, हेटेरोजाइगस डोमिनेंट एंड होमोजाइगस रेसेसिव. ड्यूरिंग दिस नेचुरल कैलामिटी ये लार्ज पॉपुलेशन में से छोटा सा पॉपुलेशन सेपरेट हो गया, भाग के दूसरे लैंड पे आ गया. अगर ये छोटा पॉपुलेशन जो दूसरे लैंड पे आया है, ओके, इट विल नॉट हैव ऑल द जेनेटिक डाइवर्सिटी ऑफ द ओरिजिनल पॉपुलेशन. मीन्स इट इज नॉट नेसेसरी कि हमको ये लैंड पे ये तीनों कॉम्बिनेशंस मिलेंगे. ओके, इट विल नॉट हैव द जेनेटिक डाइवर्सिटी ऑफ द ओरिजिनल पॉपुलेशन. तो यहाँ के जो फाउंडर मेंबर्स हैं उनसे वो जो रिप्रोड्यूस करेंगे वो वैसे ही ट्रेट्स पास ऑन करेंगे. मीन्स ये व्हाइट रैबिट्स आए हैं अगर यहाँ पे, तो आगे की जनरेशन विल बी व्हाइट ऑन दैट लैंड. अलीलिक फ्रीक्वेंसी चेंज हो गई. The frequency which was here in the original land, it has now changed in the new population. New land पे तो change हुई, which is founded by those individuals which have left the original population. But original population की भी change हो गई because यहाँ से वो individuals चले गए. So this is again an extreme effect of genetic drift, जिसकी वजह से allele frequency change होती है. If the frequency of alleles is changing, means evolution हो रहा है. Okay, follow the flow chart for your board exams. Founder effect, extreme example of genetic drift, when small group of individuals break up from a large population by chance because of any natural disaster, a new colony is formed. These individuals which break up from the large population, ये एक नई colony बनाएंगे एक नए land पे. Okay, this colony is isolated from the original population now. These will be the founders of this new colony. इस new colony के ये founder members रहेंगे. But these founder members, these founder individuals may not represent full genetic diversity of the original population. जैसे मैंने एग्जाम्पल में बताया, यहाँ पे सिर्फ ये वाले आ गए. So full genetic diversity जो original population में थी, we had the homozygous dominant, we had the heterozygous dominant, वो दोनों नहीं आए. तो यहाँ पे जो पॉपुलेशन आगे रिप्रोड्यूस करेगा, जो जनरेशन आएगी, विल बी फ्रॉम दीज. ऑलराइट, दिस इज कॉल्ड द फाउंडर इफेक्ट. इट इज एन एक्सट्रीम एग्जांपल ऑफ जेनेटिक ड्रिफ्ट. अगेन ये जो स्मॉल पॉपुलेशन है, ये कॉलोनी जो है, इट्स अ स्मॉल पॉपुलेशन. ओके, अगेन दिस स्मॉल पॉपुलेशन विल बी अफेक्टेड, विल बी impacted by any genetic drift. मीन्स कोई भी नेचुरल कैलामिटी अब आई तो ये स्मॉल पॉपुलेशन जल्दी से अफेक्ट होगा एज कंपेयर टू अ ह्यूज पॉपुलेशन, वी हैव सीन दिस। तो ये जो स्मॉल पॉपुलेशन है, बाय द टाइम इट रिप्रोड्यूसेस, इट स्टेबलाइजेस, उसका पॉपुलेशन साइज बढ़े, तब तक उसको बहुत इफेक्ट रहेगा, बहुत इम्पैक्ट रहेगा जेनेटिक ड्रिफ्ट से, विच इज अल्टरेशन इन द अलील फ्रीक्वेंसी बाय चांस। ओके, मीन्स फिर से अगर कोई नेचुरल डिजास्टर आया, कुछ एक्सीडेंटल डेथ हुई, so it is a by chance occurrence. This small population will be impacted. I hope you are clear with genetic drift now and the bottleneck effect and the founder effect. The third one, the third principle which affects the Hardy-Weinberg law, the third factor is non-random mating. Non-random mating means हम चूज करेंगे कि टॉल और टॉल इंडिविजुअल्स आपस में मेट करेंगे. We are not allowing them to mate randomly. We are choosing that this and this one will mate together, this and this one will mate together. All right. जो हम करते हैं हमारे हॉर्टिकल्चर में, हमारे एग्रीकल्चर में, हमारे एनिमल ब्रीडिंग में, हमारी एनिमल हस्बेंड्री में, ऑल राइट, हम चूज करते हैं टू गेट द सुपीरियर वेराइटी. वी चूज दैट विच टू विल ब्रीड विथ ईच अदर, उनका फिनोटाइप देख के, उनका जीनोटाइप देख के. Supposingly, now since this diagram is over here, from this population, if I choose that this and this are going to mate with each other, I am going to cross the two homozygous dominant ones. Okay, so I'm purposely choosing to get a homozygous dominant. What I'll get from here will be a homozygous dominant offspring. I can choose that one heterozygous dominant and other heterozygous dominant will breed. All right. अब एक और बात, phenotypically ये सारे individuals brown है, whether they are heterozygous dominant or they are homozygous dominant. All right. So I can choose phenotypically also the brown individuals, keeping in mind कि इनका genotype heterozygous या homozygous दोनों हो सकता है. If I want to be more particular in mating these rabbits, in mating these individuals, I can find out the genotype and then select the heterozygous dominant ones or the homozygous dominant ones or the homozygous recessive ones. All right, homozygous recessive ones phenotypically भी हमको पता चलेंगे, but the brown ones, okay, phenotypically we will have only 2 of these 3 genotypes. So हम जीनोटिपिकली भी पता कर सकते हैं. एंड अगर हम रैंडमली मेटिंग नहीं होने देंगे तो अलील फ्रीक्वेंसी चेंज होगी. If we do not allow these individuals to mate randomly and if we interfere, okay, that is non-random mating. Individuals alike for a particular trait. We are speaking of one particular trait over here, that is the color of the rabbit. Okay, only those will mate, so you will get particular those individuals. अगर हम ऐसा करेंगे तो अलीलिक फ्रीक्वेंसी चेंज होगी पॉपुलेशन में. Therefore, हार्डी-विनबर्ग लॉ की एप्लीकेबिलिटी जब हमने डिस्कस की थी कल, we had discussed this law will be applicable only when random mating is allowed in a population. It will not be applicable when there is non-random mating. All right. So this is the non-random mating factor which is going to affect the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. It is going to change the allelic frequency. Next is mutation. Mutation is a factor which is going to affect the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. Means अगर mutation होगा तो allele frequency change होगी. Now what are mutations? Mutation is a phenomena which results in the change or alteration in the DNA sequence. DNA sequence को suddenly change करता है. You know about mutation. हमने genetics complete किया है. Okay. So mutation is something sudden phenomena which is going to change the sequence of the DNA, and consequently, because it is bringing about changes in the genetic makeup, it is changing the genotype and subsequently the phenotype. So mutations will be sudden. They will be directionless. It is not essential कि वो beneficially रहेगा. In fact, majority of the times mutations are harmful, okay, and very few times they are beneficial. They are the source of genetic variation. Genetic variation दो चीजें करती है, एक mutation और दूसरा recombination. All right, these two things they bring about variations in the DNA. So ये एक लार्ज डिफरेंस देखेंगे हम, सडनली देखेंगे. दिस विल बी म्यूटेशन. अगर म्यूटेशन होगा तो अलील की फ्रीक्वेंसी इन अ पॉपुलेशन चेंज होगी. लेट मी शो यू एन एग्जांपल. ये पॉपुलेशन है जिसमें सारे रेसेसिव अलील्स हैं. ओके, सडनली ड्यूरिंग गमीट फॉर्मेशन जब गमीट फॉर्म हो रहे हैं यहाँ पे, ड्यूरिंग गमीट फॉर्मेशन, that is when the ovum and the sperm are forming during gamete formation, suddenly you get this dominant one. कहीं तो भी कुछ म्यूटेशन हुआ इन द डीएनए, ओके, एंड यू गेट अ डोमिनेंट अलील ओवर हियर, अलील फ्रीक्वेंसी चेंज हुई. अब बिकॉज ऑफ दीज द जीनोटिपिक कॉम्बिनेशंस व्हिच यू विल गेट इन द नेक्स्ट जनरेशन, यहाँ पे एक ये कैपिटल ए स्मॉल ए आ गया है. Alright, so these are sudden changes which can alter the genotype as well as phenotype of an organism. Now this organism will be different from these organisms, the other organisms in that population. So allele frequency change हुई. यहाँ पे capital A, that is the dominant gene था ही नहीं, यहाँ पे dominant gene आ गया है. allele frequency इस population से इस population में change हुई है because of mutation. Alright. म्यूटेशन पे हम पूरी थ्योरी देखेंगे which was given by Hugo de Vries. It is called the Hugo de Vries theory of mutation. We will see this in detail later on. Next factor which is going to affect the genetic equilibrium is the genetic recombination. Okay, you all know about recombinations. In sexually reproducing organisms, homologous chromosomes, they exchange genetic material. Alright, homologous chromosomes, they exchange the genetic material. Genetics हम डिटेल में देख चुके हैं. This process is called crossing over. It is called crossing over. Okay, and this crossing over produces new combinations. इसीलिए इसको बोलते हैं recombination. Production of new combinations by crossing over of homologous chromosomes which exchange genetic material, which produces new combinations. It is called genetic recombination. Because of this recombination, genetic variability आती है individuals में. Although phenotypically we may appear same, but genetically हम vary करते हैं एक दूसरे से. Genetic variability आती है सब individuals में. Alright, again जब genetic variability आएगी, that means the genotype is changing, the allele frequency is going to change. So this is again a factor which tells us कि धीरे धीरे evolution हो रहा है, धीरे धीरे we are evolving, we are changing, at least the genetic makeup is changing. Next factor and the most famous one and my favorite one is natural selection, which is going to affect the genetic equilibrium or the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. जितने भी combinations हमने देखे हैं, जितना भी genetic drift होगा, gene flow होगा, mutation होगा, genetic recombinations होंगे, non-random mating होगी या random mating होगी, उससे जितने भी genotypic combinations बनेंगे, there is one boss over them. There is one boss which is going to favor one, which is going to help one type or one allele adapt better to the environment as to its opposing allele. Okay, so nature is going to select कौन रहेगा and कौन survive करेगा, and not only survive, कौन reproduce करेगा. We have done a full lecture on natural selection theory. All right. So natural selection, if I speak in terms of alleles now, when one allele or a combination, उसका genotypic combination या एक allele makes an organism less fit to survive and reproduce in that particular environment, if one allele or its combination makes an organism less fit to survive, and not only to survive but also to reproduce in that environment, धीरे धीरे over the generations its frequency will reduce. Its frequency will reduce. ये मैंने अभी आपको alleles के term में natural selection बताया है. Let me tell you a example again over here. See this population of rabbits. If I tell you that brown rabbits are easily seen by the hunters, are easily hunted by the hunters, धीरे धीरे brown rabbits बहुत ज़्यादा hunt होते जाएंगे. They can be easily caught by the hunters. Okay. So population of these white rabbits, now because these are not caught by the hunters, these will be surviving, these will be reproducing, इनका population कम नहीं हुआ है. Next generation में ये increase हो जाएंगे and these alleles will decrease. Means जो survive नहीं कर रहे हैं, जो reproduce नहीं कर रहे हैं due to any factors. We have seen the example of मेलानिज्म इन मॉथ्स। बिफोर इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन कौन से मॉथ्स थे, आफ्टर इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन कौन से मॉथ्स, प्रेडेटर से बचने के लिए कलर चेंज हुआ, प्रेडेटर कैन नॉट स्पॉट इट, दैट वाज नेचुरल सिलेक्शन। व्हेन द कलर चेंज, अलील फ्रीक्वेंसी चेंज हुई, अलील फ्रीक्वेंसी चेंज हुई, अलील फ्रीक्वेंसी चेंज हो रही है मीन्स एवोल्यूशन हो रहा है। Okay, it is contradicting Hardy-Weinberg law. Hardy-Weinberg law is saying कि allele frequency change नहीं होगी, evolution नहीं होगा. But all these factors they suggest that allele frequency change हो रही है, धीरे धीरे evolution हो रहा है. We are evolving at least in the genetic makeup, and जैसे जैसे ये genetic makeup बहुत ज़्यादा evolve होगा, ये phenotypic difference show करना चालू कर देता है. Alright, so that is natural selection. We all understand natural selection. इसको just अलील के टर्म्स में समझाया है कि जो अलील फिट नहीं रहेगा उस इन्वायरमेंट के लिए, उसकी फ्रीक्वेंसी धीरे धीरे रिड्यूस होती जाएगी, whereas दूसरा अलील जो उस इन्वायरमेंट में सर्वाइव कर रहा है, रिप्रोड्यूस कर रहा है, it is going to grow, it is going to reproduce. So now natural selection can be seen as three types, okay? So now natural selection, ये हमने natural selection theory में नहीं डिस्कस किया था on that complete lecture of natural selection. We will just see it over here, okay? एक population में supposingly मैं एक trait लेती हूँ, which is tall. Tall is one of the traits and dwarf is one of the traits. All right? So ये phenotypic manifestation है number of individuals का एक population में. तो नेचुरल सिलेक्शन को हम स्टेबलाइजिंग वन बोलेंगे जब टॉल और ड्वार्फ ये एक एवरेज नंबर में रहेंगे, मींस एवरेज एरिथमेटिक वैल्यू रहेगी। ये एक पॉपुलेशन है सी, सो दिस स्टेबलाइजिंग कर्व विल बी लाइक दिस, इट विल बी लॉन्ग एंड नैरो, नाइदर स्मॉल टी वाले नाइदर कैपिटल टी वाले ज्यादा है। Alright, it will be the mean arithmetic value. यहाँ पे average height के populations मिलेंगे आपको, neither tall neither dwarf. This will be a stabilizing population where the mean character value रहेगी दोनों characters की, tall और dwarf. ये दो phenotypes हैं. Okay, we are discussing one trait in a population. So ये tall और dwarf के mean characteristics मिलेंगे, means थोड़े tall थोड़े dwarf. Alright. So we call it a stabilizing one. We call it a stabilizing natural selection. The other type can be when it is directional. या तो वो पूरे tall की तरफ है when the curve has shifted in direction now. Direction shift हो गया. When you get it like this in a population, means अभी it has shifted towards the taller individuals. This is capital T, here is small t. All right. So it is shifted towards taller individuals. So we call it a directional shift, directional type of natural selection. Alright, other than mean character value, वो shift होता है एक direction में. This shift can be towards this side, can be towards this side also. One which is favorable for nature, one which is favorable for the organism to adapt. अगर tall ज्यादा favorable है तो ये side shift होगा, dwarf ज्यादा favorable है तो it will shift towards this. So we call it a directional one where other than the mean character value, the curve is shifting in one direction. And it is called a disruptive one, disruptive natural selection when you have two peaks, means आपके पास dwarf individuals भी हैं, tall individuals भी हैं. You have two peaks over here. One peak here and one peak here. You have dwarf individuals also, you have tall individuals also, means nature is favoring both of them. Natural selection. Disruptive type of natural selection. Peripheral values at both the ends. दोनों ends को favorable है. Peripheral value जो dwarf है उनको भी, जो tall है उनको भी. So you get a curve with two peaks like this. Alright, so एक population में you can have average लोग जो neither बहुत tall है neither बहुत short है, इन दोनों का average, that is the mean value. You can have directional shift towards the tall or towards the dwarf. ये just example है एक trait का. You can have directional shift depending on what nature is selecting, or if nature is selecting both of them, then you will have two peaks at both the peripheral values, that is the dwarfer one and the taller one. All right. And all these mechanisms of evolution, that is genetic migration, genetic drift, mutation, recombination, non-random mating, नेचुरल सिलेक्शन, ये सब साइमल्टेनियसली काम कर सकते हैं. एक अलील सिलेक्ट हुआ, अगर म्यूटेशन से चेंज हुआ, अगर म्यूटेशन बेनिफिशियल है इन्वायरमेंट के लिए, नेचर इज गोइंग टू सिलेक्ट. दैट मीन्स म्यूटेशन ने भी काम किया, नेचुरल सिलेक्शन ने भी काम किया. इंपॉर्टेंट एमसीक्यू. These mechanisms of evolution, they can occur simultaneously, they can work simultaneously. Alright, जो म्यूटेशन हुआ, जो जेनेटिक ड्रिफ्टिंग के बाद स्मॉल पॉपुलेशन बनी, अगर नेचर सिलेक्ट करेगा तो वैसी ही और जनरेशन बनती जाएगी. इफ नेचर इज फेवरिंग देम टू सर्वाइव, फेवरिंग देम टू रिप्रोड्यूस. So these mechanisms of evolution can work simultaneously also, alright, with each other. So I hope you have understood all these mechanisms of evolution which affect the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. ये सब allele frequency को change करते हैं, इसीलिए Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium applicable नहीं रहेगा जब ये सब factors हैं. It is affecting the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. Now students, the last part of the lecture and important for your board exam point of view. If I want to summarize the modern synthetic theory of evolution, okay, modern synthetic theory of evolution, अगर ये summarize करनी है मुझे, so it is going to have three parts. The genetic variation, it's going to include genetic variation, it's going to include natural selection, and it is going to include isolation. Genetic variation, natural selection, isolation. जेनेटिक वेरिएशन में ये सारे पॉइंट्स आएंगे जो हमने आज डिस्कस किए हैं. दैट इज जीन म्यूटेशन, जीन रिकॉम्बिनेशन, जीन माइग्रेशन, जेनेटिक ड्रिफ्ट एंड क्रोमोसोमल एब्रेशंस. यू हैव सीन क्रोमोसोमल एब्रेशंस इन डिटेल ड्यूरिंग जेनेटिक्स. कैसे एडिशन होता है, डिलीशन होता है, इन्वर्जन होता है क्रोमोसोमल arrangement in the sequence. Okay, so all these will include the genetic variations, all these bring about genetic variations. Next, natural selection. जितने भी genetic variations होंगे उसमें से nature select करने वाला है who is going to adapt, who is going to survive and who is going to reproduce. And the third one is isolation. जब geographical isolation होगा, the one which we have seen in Darwin's finches. ओके, ज्योग्राफिकल आइसोलेशन, बिकॉज ज्योग्राफी चेंज हो गई, नया लैंड हो गया, वहां के रिसोर्सेज एक्सप्लॉइट करने हैं, वहां जो खाना है वो खाना है, सो वो बर्ड्स मॉडिफाई हुए. ओके, दे मॉडिफाइड अकॉर्डिंग टू द रिसोर्सेज ऑन द न्यू आइलैंड. ज्योग्राफिकल आइसोलेशन, जब कॉन्टिनेंट्स ड्रिफ्ट हुए, चेंज हुए, वी हैव सीन द मार्सुपियल्स, ओके, ऑस्ट्रेलियन मार्सुपियल्स, ऑल दीज विल कम इन ज्योग्राफिकल आइसोलेशन. एंड आइसोलेशन कैन बी रिप्रोडक्टिव. मीन्स एक लैंड पे है इंडिविजुअल्स बट रिप्रोडक्टिवली दे आर आइसोलेटेड. अ डॉग एंड अ कैट कैन नॉट मेट. ओके, यू हैव सीन द चैप्टर ऑफ रिप्रोडक्शन. सो हर किसी का रिप्रोडक्टिव ऑर्गन्स अलग रहेंगे. एवरीबडी इज हैविंग अ डिफरेंट रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम, डिफरेंट हार्मोन्स, डिफरेंट सीजन्स ऑफ रिप्रोडक्शन, डिफरेंट टाइमिंग्स ऑफ रिप्रोडक्शन. Okay, they can be organisms reproducing at night, organisms reproducing in day. There are seasonal fruits, you know, that means organisms reproducing during different seasons. Even some animals, they are seasonal breeders, and some lay their eggs outside, in some the fertilization is internal. So reproductive isolation can be pre-mating and post-mating, means before mating, the habitat, the seasonal changes, all these are going to reproductively isolate individuals, and post-mating, all their zygotes, gametes, they are not going to match, the reproductive organs are not going to match. So that will be reproductive isolation. So आपको अगर अब ये आंसर लिखना है आपके स्टेट बोर्ड में, you are going to write all the points which we have discussed today along with natural selection. In the natural selection, you can write about stabilizing, directional and disruptive types over here. And isolation में आप लिखोगे geographical isolation and reproductive isolation के बारे में. All right, so I hope all these points are very clear with you. The mechanism of evolution and the theory, that is the modern synthetic theory of evolution. I'll see you in the next lecture. Go through the lecture very nicely, read your textbook, make your notes. These notes are going to help you in your board exam. Okay? Bye bye.